Hello guys,
I
Michael the
don't
X
actually.
here, and today I'm doing a video on, hey, that's the recent lore on the DreamSMP related to Fundy and this new place that is in his dreams. This is a DreamSMP discussion, and I actually am very interested in this. Uh, I genuinely believe that this is going to be the most interesting thing, even more interesting than the egg. I'm going to be completely honest about this. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue with my theory. If this video's been taken by this video I'm using from the DreamSMP Hangout YouTube channel. You can see by the icon in the right corner. So go subscribe to them. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and start with this theory. So Fundy first starts off realizing that he's in the desert. As soon as he goes up his stairs, he realizes that the hot dog van from way earlier on in the server is there. For a bit of context for people who don't know, the hot dog van is from way at the beginning. The hot dog van is specifically, from when Wilbur started Lemanberg. And that's, originally it was going to be a drug van, but then it turned into the, right, pretty much their base of operations, and then they built a wall around it for Lemanberg. Anyway, but in order for me to explain more, I need to explain the whole lore of Lemanberg, so I'm going to go ahead and continue further. Right. Then we see two name tags. One of them being Fundy and one of them being Wilbur's. Now, Fundy's is actually pretty self-explanatory from later on, but Wilbur's is quite interesting. At least, to me. The reason why I feel like Wilbur's is interesting is because Wilbur is dead. And how would Wilbur be back alive without this taking place someplace that we don't know where it is? But going based off evidence, I believe that this takes place in the future, even though this is a dream. And I'll explain later on why. But what's interesting about this is that, well, this actually has played out inside the DreamSMP before. There has been one a particular spot where Wilbur and Fundy were alone in the van, and no other times they were alone in the van. And they were talking about a battle strategy. So, I feel like that specifically takes place in the past, and it's more of a, hey, it's, hey, it's the dream looking into Fundy's past and specifically putting a memory with Wilbur. Anyways, now let's go ahead and talk about something I found very interesting. Now, Fundy later on finds a book. The book it supposedly says that it's him from the future. Now, once Fundy reads the book, it says that it's him. So, what does this mean? Either this is what we'll be talking about later, trying to trick him, or the Fundy from the van is the Fundy from the future, though stuck in the dream. Then the book keeps trying to tell him to go back to sleep, go back to sleep, go back to sleep, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. But then later on, after Fundy's done panicking and heads back over there to get the book again, the book later on says, "You don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know the truth." Which, means that either future Fundy or the dream that Fundy is having is telling him that they don't want to know what happened to Fundy in the future. So then let's go ahead and talk. Then it's more of Fundy panicking. But then the future, right? But after Fundy finds out a little bit more, the future version tells him to sleep for the both of them. Uh, Even though, it's in the case of dreams, but it's also the case in nightmares. Then once Fundy runs back to his house, he checks back outside, sees a black individual. The black individual slowly turns around to see him and starts chasing him. Fundy, closes the door, runs back upstairs, but the thing runs back. Well, it opens up the door and then runs up the stairs with Fundy chasing him. Fundy finds a black bed surrounded by black stone. Uh, slabs. He sleeps in it, but we see the thing catch up to him. But we don't see it catch him. Now I'm going to skip ahead to show you guys exactly what I find interesting about this, which is why I'm covering this. Now I'm going to turn up the sound. Okay, this is interesting because this is Quackity's smile, not Dream's. Dream's smile is it's a bit wider and it has, I believe, 2 dots for his eyes, while Quackity's is purely yeah uh a six for a smile it's 6 blocks and 2 blocks for the eyes, which I find interesting. Also, you hear casino noises. Quackity, for one of his recent streams where he goes into prison with Dream, once he is done with that little cutscene, we see him scrap a piece of paper, check off a day where it says torture Dream for a whole month. Then we see a book, not book, we see a few coins. A suitcase of coins, specifically casino coins. Now, why am I bringing this up? These the casino coins and the casino sounds with the Quackity smile pretty much confirms that this has something to do with Quackity. Now, how's Quackity involved with this, you may ask? Well, here's where my theory comes in. I believe Quackity is that black monster in a form. Like, since Quackity's become so evil and so twisted to the point where he's no longer human, he's become like Dream in a way, because Dream to some people in the SMP is not a good person, not human. This could be a transformation of sorts for Quackity, though metaphorical. This is not actually Quackity. It's just something in the future, and the black robe is to hide the fact that it's Quackity. Since Fundy will not be able to tell. Then, the final piece of the coin that I feel like that is... Oh, alright, now let's go ahead and talk about the future. So, this has Fundy warning himself about what's going to happen. So it's quite obvious something bad is going to happen to Fundy. Now, what could it be? Well, a current theory I have is that Fundy finds out what Quackity is doing and tries to stop him, but then Quackity tortures him to the point where Fundy dies. Is that canonically? So the future Fundy goes back into the past somehow to warn his future self. Not future self, his past self. But since but since he doesn't know how to say it, he keeps saying, "You don't know, You don't want to know the truth. You don't know what. You don't want to know the truth over and over again and go back to sleep. Because he realizes that whatever killed him is with him now. Now, did the thing take over Quackity? No, not Quackity. Did the thing take over Fundy? I don't think so. I think Fundy escaped just at the nick of time, but this is to show evidence that to us that this is Quackity. Now, what exactly is this? Well, I think that well, I already know Quackity's going to be the villain for a future arc, or even this arc. But what exactly is this? Well, I have two theories. One is a outlandish theory, but I actually think could be the case. And another theory is that, well, a theory that Quackity found a way to, like, both of them involve dreamins. So I think that Quackity, so one way that to this involve dreamins is that Quackity, due to becoming more like Dream, and also being a very bad person, he found a way to get his own type of dreamins and did this to future Fundy. Or Fundy in any point. And he's now torturing Fundy like how Dream tortured Tommy. Now, why would he torture Quackity? Now, why would Quackity torture Fundy, you may ask? The reason why Quackity would torture Fundy would simply because if we look at the past, Quackity and Fundy did have so many arguments about certain things. So, I think Quackity doesn't really like Fundy. And it would make sense. Since anytime that Quackity doesn't like someone, he is very hostile with them. Evidence for this is Dream, Schlatt, Techno, and once again, Fundy at one point. Then, yeah. And that's it. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory up until the end. Yeah. Where we see, like, well, not self-explanatory, but we get a lot of hints to what is happening, pretty much. And this is my theory. I want to know how you guys think about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Goodbye.